Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a layout for Hip Kit Club. This is my first time using the July kits, so the July 2021 kits. They've just landed with me and I'm delighted to use them today, and I'm playing along with the mood board today. This is the mood board created by Melissa. Okay, so I'm starting off with a white background, and then I decide that I'm going to use this lovely subtle pink zigzag or chevron print for the background. So I've trimmed that down to about, I think, 10 3/4 and just dressing the edges, and then I'm going to stick it directly to the white cardstock background. This is a style I've been using a lot lately. I really enjoy seeing patterns and like blocks of colour on my layouts, and this is a good way of doing it. I just feel that having the white border around the edge really appeals to me, gives it a little bit of separation, just something that I'm really happy doing at the moment. I have my background sorted there, and now I'm going to I'm inspired by the mood board, so I'm now going to apply some mixed media because there are some mixed media swatches on the mood board. I have just splattered some white paint all over my background, so that's one thing. And then I have these cut files. So I have, I think it's this month, I think it's August, this cut file. I'll put the details below. I've cut it 3 times from Marshmallow cardstock, so it's a good thick, heavy weight, as my little baby, who's not really a baby anymore at nearly 3, trying to join in. He just also put his arm in the white paint, the wet white paint that's on my background. Oh, here he comes to create more havoc. And 3 days later, I still haven't managed to get it off of his arm. So I've soaked him in the bath, I've tried baby wipes, I've tried scrubbing it with a face cloth, and nothing's really working. So he is like just permanently covered in white paint. But hey ho. Anyway, so I'm now painting my cut files with the 2 colours of Shimmerz that were in this month's kit. So I've gone for the pink one and the orangey coloured one. I'm just going to use those 2, not the blue one. And how pretty is that? So I've just literally taking wet paint and grabbing my paintbrush and putting it all over those cut files. Just having to contend with little one on my lap at the same time. It's always interesting. He's very interested in the things that's on my table. He particularly likes the water spray, so that's what I'm using at the moment. So he keeps picking that up and trying to use it, and he also really likes my glue pot there. He likes to take the pin out and then he can't get it back in again, so he has to give it back to me and I have to do it. It's all good fun. Life with a little one. That's my second one painted, and you can see that I'm really just roughly painting over it. I've got a piece of copy paper in the background to make sure that my background doesn't get too messy, because my craft sheets are tiny. I don't have a large craft sheet. So now I'm just going again with the pink and the orangey one, and I'm kind of mixing the paint as I go. I'm not too worried about it. Mixing in the paint pots. I'm picking up the paint out of the pot, if that makes sense, and kind of mixing it on the cut file itself. So I've gone darker on the third one, the smallest one, because that one will be on the top, although in reality it didn't actually make much difference. Okay, so there's my 3 cut files, all pretty colours now. I really love the kind of boho vibe that's going on in this kit, and I was kind of trying to establish the same kind of feel with those colours, ice creamy colours, on those cut files. Okay, so I am now going to have a look at this lovely pack of Build-A-Blooms. Really lovely. I really like it. It's got various different sized die cut paper or card flowers, and then there are like material ones as well, and they're backed, though, so they're easy to stick. And then there's chipboard kind of buttons for the middle of the flowers. So lovely, really nice, an interesting kit. I've never seen anything like this before, really. So it's quite nice to have these to layer up and put those little chipboard buttons in the middle. Very nice. I'm just kind of going through, picking out some of the colours that I think will work. Kind of sticking with like a reddy, orangey, pinky theme for this layout. Just picking out the very warm colours. Yellows and pinks and oranges, those kind of colours. So okay, so here is my cut file. I'm just checking out what my cut file looks like. I believe I have, it's fairly dry. And now I've just got to figure out where everything's going to go. I don't know if I've done it already, but I'm going to heat emboss these cut files. Something I learned from the very, very fabulous Jennifer Secrets and Creations on Instagram. She is amazing with mixed media. She's like an idol because I can never achieve a mixed media look as good as she can ever. But I saw her doing, she'd coloured in a cut file and then she had put clear glittery embossing powder over the top, and I thought, what an amazing idea. I've got some of that embossing powder that I never use, so I thought I'd give it a go. So thanks, Jennifer, for giving me the inspiration to try something out. So I've used Versamark ink pad. My goodness, it's so many years old. I'm surprised it wasn't dry. And I've sprinkled over some Wow embossing powder, clear sparkle. So when I emboss that, it gives me just a sparkle all over. No colour, so it's not a white with glitter, it's just clear with glitter. So it's really, really super lovely. I can't believe how beautiful it is. And it really is like magic. You know, when you melt the embossing powder with a heat tool, it just changes before your very eyes. Makes the colour underneath more intense and gives you this glittery finish, and oh my goodness, I'm in love with this effect, and in fact I'm going to do it on my next layout as well. So you can just about see how pretty and sparkly that is, and I've hopefully kind of tried to capture that in the close-up photos. You can't really see it too well on screen, but if you were to have a go at this in real life, you would be in love as well, because it really is something special. Okay, so I've got my 3 cut files. I'm just sticking them into the middle of my layout. I'm actually going to sew through them as well so they don't move. I actually sewed through them 3 times, not that you can see my stitching. So I sewed around each of them, the middle of the rings on each one. So you can see it on the back of the layout, but you definitely can't see it on the front. I think the cut files, there's 3 of them, a bit too busy, so you just can't see it. But it's holding them in place as well as being pretty. Not pretty because you can't see it, but it's practical. Okay, so now I have my photo. I was really struggling with my photo because it was tall, it just didn't quite look right. So I've trimmed it down to a square, and that's much better. I'm much happier with the kind of composition. I've got the title Summer, and I've got the flowers that I picked out earlier. Summer is from the exclusive puffy titles. The flowers are from the Build a Bloom set that I picked out earlier. And then I've just picking out some other bits and pieces in the similar colours. So I've got chipboard, yes it is chipboard frame. And then I'm going to add some other things, some puffy stickers and some other bits and pieces. So I'm now just really fiddling around with how the layout is going to look. I'm not overly happy with how it's looking for some reason. I like the flowers, the cut file, sorry. And the colours, but the little arrangement over on the right hand side isn't working all that well. I feel that my photo kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. You know, it needs to blend in a bit better. So I felt that I need to extend it slightly. So I've pulled out a black and white tab, chipboard tab. I think it's a flag actually. I've tucked that to the right of the photo to kind of extend that photo block a little bit more, but I'm still not quite happy. It's still not quite doing it for me. So I've turned to a journaling card from the Pocket Life kit, and I have trimmed that down to a square as well, distress the edges, and then I'm going to offset that with my photo and hope that that kind of makes it look a little bit more balanced. I think it's because this title is quite long, because it's quite a big word, and my photo is quite narrow. So therefore, it just I needed to extend the photo block a little bit more in order to make that look kind of normal or balanced. Balanced is the word I was looking for. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with how that's looking now. It's a bit better. I want to get some butterflies in because there's butterflies on the mood board. I've stuck to some of the colours from the mood board. It didn't have like an overall colour scheme, this mood board, but it did have the hazy yellow and orange in the sunset, and it had pinks in the mixed media swatches. So I've gone for that as my colour scheme. I wanted to include the also, I should have said that the cut file was inspired by the big image top left of the mood board because it's like a big mandala. I've also been inspired by the phrase that says, I can't remember exactly what it says, but it's about summer. So I pulled out the word summer, that for my title. That was my plan there. And I've used mixed media as well, of course, because of the mixed media swatches on the mood board. And now I'm going to add some butterflies. So I've already added them, I think. So I've got a big butterfly in the middle of the layout, basically to the left. I was going to add some more, but some of them looked a bit big and didn't quite sit right. Also, I prefer the traditional butterfly shapes rather than the kind of moth shapes. Anyway, I thought I had more than one on there, but it looks like I did only have one in the end. I've got the layout right next to me, and it does only look like one. So that's a nod to the mood board as well. I'm just adding in a sunshine, which is again from the mood board in that middle picture, and then some other kind of mandalas as well. So as everything that I do, I'm looking towards the mood board to get inspiration from, picking out bits and pieces that will work with the mood board. I liked the Dreamcatcher puffy sticker, but it just didn't quite look right over there on the left. So I've put it in place for now, but it does get removed. A couple of little hearts, they get to stay. I like the fact that this cut file, the way that it's layered 3 on top of each other in different sizes, means I can tuck things under. So I could tuck some flowers under, I can tuck the butterflies under, I tucked the Dreamcatcher under, then removed it. And now I'm going to add these little phrases. I love these phrases, they're lovely. And I'm going to tuck those under the different layers as well. So the ones that I've used there, the phrases that I've used there say, here comes the sun and fun. Every summer has a story, weekend vibes, and our favourite place. So lots of little lovely phrases there that go well with everyday life. So they are very nice. They didn't want to stick, and that's because I had different layers and I had a cut file with embossing powder on, so they would not stick. So I had to revert to the glossy accents, and I had to put something heavy on top of them for a while to get them to stay where they were put. I'm nearly done, to be honest. The majority of the layout is in place. I've added a few chipboard hearts. And then, of course, I've got this issue trying to get these chipboard pieces to stick down. So just adding my tape gun on top of those for a moment. I want to add some white splatters. Now, I use a paint shaker, Liquitex thing. It's nearly empty, actually. And I decided that I didn't want such large drips. I've already got large drips in the background. I wanted some smaller ones, some like very fine splatters. So I put some onto a piece of paper. That was stupid. I don't know what I was thinking. I need to put it onto a craft sheet because, of course, the paper absorbed the paint. And I wanted to add some water to it to make it more liquid, and that didn't work because it just absorbed by the paper. So just having a bit of a blonde moment there. I can say that because I'm a natural blonde. I've added some splatters of white paint. I did manage to get some splatters even though I used paper. There we go. My layout is finished. I hope you've enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. I really like how it turned out. The cut files are amazing. The cut file itself is amazing, and the paint with the embossing powder, really pretty and beautiful. Give it a go. Okay, so that's my layout complete. I hope you liked it. Don't forget that as a Hip Kit Club subscriber, you get the main kit at a reduced price, 15% discount off all add-on kits, and access to exclusive subscriber cut files like the one I used today. Okay, thank you very much for joining me today. That was Nikki Rowland for Hip Kit Club.